The Labour Party is a very big party, represents people all over Britain, and we see ourselves as absolutely an internationalist party. The watchword of our foreign policy under a Labour government will be international justice, respect for international law, will be basing our relationship with all countries on human rights and their respect for human rights. So we raise human rights concerns with every country we meet now, irrespective of how big or small or powerful or otherwise they are. Because if we want to live in a world where we have the rights of free speech, we have the rights of assembly, we have the rights of independent trial, we have the rights of a free and independent media, then I want the same for everybody else all around the world. And if we sign up to, as we do, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and all the proceedings of both the Human Rights Council as well as of the European Convention on Human Rights, then we have to mean it. And I intend to lead a government that will make sure human rights is our watchword around the world. That is the Labour way, and that is the Labour principle that we will be adopting. Of the issues that are before us today, there are a number of things, but I think the points that you put forward, the 4 fundamental points that Tamils for Labour put forward, I think are a good start for us. An international judicial mechanism to address the crime of genocide, war crimes and crimes against humanity and other international crimes committed by the Sri Lankan state and ensure justice is served for the victims of enforced disappearances. Because it's easy to say the word enforced disappearances, but having worked with families all over the world who've had people that have disappeared, Mexico, Chile, Colombia, many other countries around the world, the pain of not knowing what happened to your loved ones is unbearable. It goes on and on for years. The desperate search for closure and to knowing exactly what happened. That is why a commission is so important. Secondly, a political solution that recognises multilingual, multi-ethnic and multi-religious nature of Sri Lanka as a society. And, of course, the right of Tamils to decide their own future. That exactly is the central to everything that's been said over the past few years. And, as I said earlier, the repeal of the Prevention of Terrorism Act because of the powers it gives of arbitrary arrest and detention without trial and the release of all political prisoners. Britain is in a strong position to make that demand, and pressure from the Tamil community encouraged, if not forced, David Cameron to go to Jaffna during the time that Choggam was being held there. I would want to see our Labour government sending our diplomats to all parts of every country in the world where there are issues of human rights abuses, arbitrary detention or allegations of torture, and ensure that they are investigated. And the last point is the demilitarisation of the Tamil homelands in the north of the island and releasing all occupied lands and allowing people to return to their homes without delay. Because for all the killing and all the brutality and all the horrors, if you just put it on hold and don't deal with the fundamental causes, the discrimination and the abuse that led to them in the first place, then the danger is of a future in which that misery continues. And so I want to say thank you for inviting me along here today. Thank you to my colleagues, Fabian and John and others that are here tonight and have spoken on it, but also the assurance I want to give you is that the Labour Party fully understands the issue. It's included in our manifesto. It will be included in our manifesto in any general election, which, by the way, we hope comes very soon. Very soon, please, because we cannot go on like this in this country or anywhere else in the world. And again, thank you for inviting me here tonight.